There is never a truly quiet day in the entertainment world. The cameras are always rolling, rumors are constantly swirling, and every move and glance made by actors is subject to public interpretation. However, amid all the commotion, there was one rare moment that made the entire entertainment world pause for a moment. The moment when Ziyu finally spoke honestly about the person who had always been behind her smile, Tian Xuning. It was a subtle yet profound confession that made his fans feel both warmth and an indescribable surprise. It all happened in a casual interview that was not actually planned to explore the personal side of Ziyu's life. The actor arrived looking casual, wearing a simple white shirt and his hair slightly messy, as if he had just woken up from an afternoon nap. There were no signs that this day would change the way the public viewed his relationship with Tian Xuning. At first, the interview had a light-hearted atmosphere. The host asked about his latest drama project, the filming process, and even made small jokes that made the studio laugh. However, everything changed when the interviewer mentioned the name that had been on the minds of fans, Tian Xuning. Ziyu's reaction at that moment seemed to reveal what the public had long wanted to know. His gaze, which had been focused on the camera, softened, as if he was looking at someone who was not in the room but was very clearly in his mind. A smile slowly appeared on his face, not the standard smile of an actor, but a smile full of memories. And in an instant, everyone in the room knew that this topic was not an ordinary one for Ziyu. When he finally spoke, his voice was a little quieter, but clear. He admitted that Tian Xuning was someone who always made him feel calmer and more like himself. The sentence was simple, but its impact was immediate. Within minutes, social media was flooded with posts, speculation, and video clips of the interview. Many did not expect that Ziyu, who was known for guarding his privacy, would finally allow the public to see the fragile and tender side of his heart. Although Ziyu and Tian Xuning's relationship was often the subject of discussion, there had never been any concrete evidence to confirm whether the two had anything more than friendship. However, that moment seemed to open a small window into something more valuable than mere rumors. The two are known to have incredible chemistry on screen. Every time they act together, there is always a feeling as if there is a gentle current flowing between them, something that is difficult to explain but easy to feel. Many fans have theorized that these feelings are not just acting, but genuine emotions that have been held back. When the host asked further, Ziyu paused. He lowered his head, playing with his fingers, as if searching for the safest, yet most honest words. Then he said that there was a different energy when he was with Tian Xuning. It wasn't just about comfort, but the feeling that he could let down the walls that had been covering his feelings. He described how Tian Xuning had a gentle but firm way of speaking, how she was able to brighten the mood even on the most exhausting days, and how she was always there with small gestures that others often considered trivial, but meant a lot to him. The most emotional part was when Ziyu was asked what Tian Xuning meant to her in her life. She chuckled softly, looking nervous, before finally admitting that Tian Xuning made her want to be a better person. That statement wasn't just romantic. It was the deepest form of appreciation someone could have for the person they loved. The way she said it, with her eyes shining softly, revealed that these feelings did not appear overnight. It was a love that grew slowly, like a flower blooming petal by petal, without being noticed. Rumors about their closeness had been circulating for a long time. Many sources from the set revealed that the two were often seen together, not only when the cameras were rolling but also during breaks and even after work hours. Eyewitnesses mentioned that Ziyu was often seen waiting for Tian Xuning to finish filming just to go home together, or how Tian Xuning always brought Ziyu's favorite food as a little surprise. Although neither of them had ever said anything directly, those gestures were already unspoken proof of a relationship deeper than just co-workers. One of the most talked about stories is when the two had to perform an emotional scene in their drama. According to a crew member, Ziyu was so immersed in the scene that she shed tears even after the director yelled cut. Tian Xuning, who was also in the scene at the time, immediately hugged her, letting Ziyu calm down without saying anything. That moment was not captured on camera, but it was witnessed by those on set. They knew that it was no longer about acting. It was two hearts understanding each other without the need for words. When stories like this spread, it's no surprise that many fans began to see the two as the perfect couple, not only on screen, but also in real life. And now, after Ziyu's gentle confession, that belief has grown even stronger. Fans flooded social media with messages of love, support, and hope that the two would one day bravely announce their relationship, if indeed it had developed as far as they thought it had. However, there is something deeper than just a confession of love. Ziyu's courage to express his feelings, even if only a small part, shows that he has reached a point where his feelings are too big to hide. Maybe he still wants to maintain his privacy, but he also wants the world to know that someone very meaningful has come into his life. And he chose to express it in the most gentle, elegant, and sincere way possible. Since the interview, many media outlets have tried to find out how Tian Xuning responded to the statement. Although he has not made an official comment, several people close to him revealed that Tian Xuning was touched and appreciated Ziyu's courage. They said that Tian Xuning is also a sensitive and caring person, so it is likely that he understands how big a step it was for Ziyu to open his heart in public. Now, the world is waiting for the continuation of the story. Will the two appear together in a new project? Will there be other moments that further strengthen their relationship? No one knows for sure. However, one thing is clear: that small confession has changed everything. The public has seen a new side of Ziyu, a side that is more human, more fragile, and more loving. And perhaps, for the first time in a long time, Ziyu finally feels ready to not only be loved by his fans, but also to love someone openly, without fear of the spotlight or judgment. Love sometimes comes without a plan. It grows in small laughs, in weary moments where someone listens without judgment, in glances that linger longer than they should. And for Ziyu, love seems to have found its home in Tian Xuning. Their journey may have just begun, but the world has already fallen in love with their story. The story of a man who finally dared to open his heart, and a woman who unknowingly became the center of the world she tried to hide. Perhaps they haven't announced it officially yet. Perhaps there is still a distance that must be maintained. However, every word spoken by Ziyu, every gesture shown by Tian Xuning, and every little moment captured on camera is enough to tell the world that love exists and is real. And in the end, true love always finds a way to shine, even behind the glitz and glamour of a high-pressure stage.